Greetings all, Boots Allen here with your Snake River Angler Fly Fishing Report. We're in the first couple days of July here. Got some great fishing just about everywhere. We've got the post runoff fishing that we can experience here. That's kicking into gear. Lots of hatches, very broad hatches on just about every river. On the Snake right now, looking good. River continues to recede. Good visibility. Visibility is getting better. Great time to be out there on the surface if you're able to get out there. Not really going to be giving flow updates on the Snake unless they do some bumps with the dam or recede some water from the dam. So won't be doing that for the next several months. But on the Snake right now, caddis are dominating in the morning. PMDs are dominating in the afternoon, but we also got golden stones out, yellow stones out, yellow sallies out, seeing green drakes. So just a broad hatch spectrum right now. All waters are producing riffles, seams, troughs, confluences, the whole 9 yards. That action on the surface kicks into gear probably around 10:30 a.m. and is lasting until 4:30, and even just a little bit past that. Streamers, that's happening quite a bit better. Better streamer fishing now than we've had probably since the end of April. If you're out there with streamers, go moderate, perhaps go small as well. A Rickett's seal bugger or a small woolly bugger is something to go with, and double them up if you can. If you have those skill levels, try and get them separated by 5 to 6 feet or so, and that can really get you into some better numbers. With streamers, slow currents are dominating. Really focus on slow currents. Dry droppers, just about any type of current speed is happening. Really fast water is happening with your dry droppers. On the green's in great shape right now. Golden stones are out. They're starting to wane, not seeing as many of them now. Sallies are out, PMDs are out, and gray drakes are out. And that's kind of the main focus this time of year on the green. Really strong in the morning. You can see them as early as 8 a.m. It lasts until about 2 p.m. and then after that, it's really opportunistic fish that are feeding. And those other hatches, PMDs and caddis, those can kind of go in through 2 p.m. as well. Streamers are working really well on the green, especially the upper reaches from Daniel Bridge upstream to the forest boundary and even past the forest boundary. Streamer's doing really well. Not a big difference in terms of the size of streamer getting into fish. Not a big difference in terms of your color spectrum, be it dark, neutral, or lighter colors. What we are seeing is that going with faster retrieves has been kind of the way to go. Measuring water temperatures right now on the green at the surface, about 68 degrees, 67 degrees, getting a little bit on the warm side. The green and the New Fork can get kind of warm. That means down in the middle of the water column, you're probably looking at, let's call it 65, 66 degrees. So might not be too long before we start to see water temperatures exceed 68 at the middle of the water column. When that happens, kick in those voluntary hoot owl requirements, and think about stopping your fishing probably around 3 p.m. or so. Salt River, got about 2 feet of visibility, more than enough. We get good surface action with 1 foot of visibility down on that river. As I said, most of these rivers broad hatches right now. We're seeing caddis, PMDs, and yellow sallies on the salt. Also a good number of carpenter ants right now. We're seeing carpenter ants in good numbers as well. Focus on riffles, focus on seams, focus on banks with moderate depths and moderate current speed. Some troughs are worth hitting as well. The top of the water column, that's where the action is. So when you're doing dry droppers, maybe 14 inches to 20 inches with your dropper tippet. That's really the way to go. Emergent patterns are kind of key. really think about doing something like a Film Critic, something like a DL Cripple, a Yellow Sally Cripple, Yellow Sally Emerger like Howard Cole's Emerger. A lot of people don't realize it. Yellow Sallies, they can emerge in the surface film, not just on the banks. South Fork of the Snake River right now flows a little over 12,500 CFS. Great level, great visibility. Has been a subsurface game for the most part. That continues kind of, but now we're seeing PMDs and drakes, green drakes on the lower part of the river. Kind of, let's say, below Cottonwood on down. And that's giving you some opportunities in riffles primarily, also on seams and eddies. That's going to intensify. Getting some reports of salmon flies down below Lorenzo, just above Lorenzo. Nothing confirmed yet, but hey, it's first week of July. That's happening. Been a bit delayed this year. That should be right around the corner here in a bit. Streamers on the South Fork, they're working well on all reaches. Go with a neutral color, maybe bright, lean neutral to bright. And it's best to use a sinking tip at the moment. Let's call it an intermediate sinking tip to a 6 IPS tip, or just go with a heavy streamer on floating line. Go about 7 feet with your floating line, 9 feet with your floating line. Banks, structure, that's all good stuff to be hitting right now on the South Fork. Last but not least, Yellowstone National Park on Lewis Lake right now. Callibaetis are hatching, gray drakes are hatching, carpenter ants up there as well. From about 11:30 on, fairly intense surface action. To the point now probably where you don't really even have to fish subsurface if you have that kind of patience. So good stuff on Lewis Lake. The Lewis River, green drakes are out in that meadow section. Green drakes are out below the canyon. Good stuff to be hitting there on Lewis Lake. That's our report. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Have a safe 4th of July. And see you in another week and a half.